So are we ready to start?
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is safe and healthy and doing well. I observe on the behalf of entire health team on the 35th of the Cockatoo Green Checks. The whole idea behind Cockatoo Green Checks is to provide a platform to all the environmental enthusiasts out there to engage in free-spirited discussions, and we here at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗵 are delighted to be able to provide this platform. The theme of today's session is saving trees. Before proceeding further, we have a short video clip on the same, and I would like 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 to play that. Thank you, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. I now take this opportunity to introduce our speaker for today's session, Mr. Viren Khanna. Viren Khanna, born and brought up in New Delhi, India, is an artist, filmmaker, photographer, writer, and pilot. He loves nature, climbing trees and rocks, vegan food, and nature walks. Everything started with a Facebook page. He uploaded pictures of nature activities and awareness. As the time passed, more and more people showed interest and started to join in. He introduced few innovative and fun nature-related activities like early morning yoga in the parks, small camp outs over the weekends, nature awareness workshop, rock climbing, tree climbing, etc. He founded New Delhi Nature Society in 2014 and has been spreading the message of reconnecting with nature, especially among children. Now, I would like to invite our speaker to continue with the session.
All right. Thank you for the introduction, sir. So, hello everybody. My name is Viren Khanna. I'm the founder of New Delhi Nature Society, and yes, I'm a commercial pilot, and through this NGO, we're saving trees, we're saving animals, we're protecting the environment, spreading awareness about environment matters. We have workshops at schools and colleges, just like this one. We also conduct nature walks. Today's a Friday, and today we are actually having a fireflies workshop in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 village. So if anybody is living nearby, they can come and join that walk. If you've not seen fireflies in Delhi, this is the best time to see it. Fireflies are seasonal, and after next month, we won't be able to see the fireflies. So today's theme is save trees, and I'm going to show you some videos first. Then I will talk to you more about this topic. So, okay, so I'll just share the screen, and then I'll show you the first video. This is about tree climbing.
environmentalist in the capital who's doing his bit to save.
Perfect idea for Sunday, climb a tree.
Just come to just relax a bit.
We need to save trees right now. One day someone's going to come with a legal paper to cut it, and you have to try to save it. Make sure the trees are there for us to be there.
Grammarly can help you write quickly and
So this video was about tree climbing. Now, in this video, it was shown about this disease called tree blindness. Tree blindness is a disease which is affecting people in big cities. So people are not able to see trees around them. The trees become invisible when you are suffering from this disease. Sometimes people walk into the trees, sometimes they drive into the trees. And if a tree is cut outside the house, they won't even notice that it's missing. So it's a very serious disease. I think I had this problem many years ago. And through different kinds of activities like tree climbing, tree hugging, tree identification, now I'm able to see all the trees around me. Now I know the names of the trees, the uses of the trees also. And in villages, rural areas, people know about all the trees around them. So yeah, this is very important. Now, over the years, we've been saving trees in many different ways. I'll show you some short videos to cover the different ways how we are saving the trees. So right now in the monsoon season, you must have noticed that some trees are falling in parts of your city. So that's because people put cement around the trees, and when they put cement around the tree, water cannot go down, the roots cannot get air, and the tree becomes weak. So that's why it falls out. The roots, they get weak and they cannot hold the tree in balance. That's how the trees fall during this monsoon time. Now I'll just quickly show you some of the fallen trees which we have saved. Wait, I'll just share the screen. So when the tree falls down, we have saved the fallen tree by cutting the weight a little bit and then lifting it back into place and restoring the tree. If we don't save the tree, then somebody will come and they will cut the trees and take it away, so you won't have the tree anymore. But if we save the tree, then the tree can live for another 15 to 20 years, minimum. Okay, I'll show you one example of this. I'm sharing the screen now. So this tree fell last year and now we saved it. So now this tree is surviving and it's totally green. Now it can live for many more years. So I'll just show you another short video which shows all the other trees which we have rescued.
Hi, today we're going to talk about rescuing fallen trees. Did you know trees around the city fall down because of concrete around the base? The concrete prevents the tree from growing wider and the water does not reach the root, and hence the tree becomes weaker. This people tree fell down in May 2017. After the tree fell down, the canopy was cut to make it lighter so that the trees could also the concrete around the base was removed. The base would be back into its original place and the water soil is floating. And now you can see the tree has grown new leaves. This is a tree which fell down. This is a golden tree which fell down in 2007. And now you can let another thing. This is a shepherd tree which fell down in 2018 because of the storm. Thanks to 𝗍𝗲𝗵𝗲𝗄 and RW President 𝗦𝗃𝗶𝗵𝗲𝗄 and 𝗡𝘁𝘂𝗵𝗵𝗲𝗄. This is a shisham tree which fell down last month and it was blocking the traffic. So the PWD cut down the part which was blocking the road, and thanks to 𝗍𝗲𝗵𝗲𝗄, they helped organize a crane which lifted it back into its original place and they put cement and bricks to support it. This is a shisham tree which fell down and was blocking. The part which is causing the blockage was cut down and with the help of the cement and bricks, you can see new leaves and branches is formed. All these rescue trees which shown are not transplanted. And they've been rewritten in the original place. So the next time that you see a fallen tree, rescue it back into its original place.
So that covers how we are rescuing the fallen trees. Now, this is a short clip about the cement around the trees. So it's just 52 seconds.
सीमेंट क्यों डालोगे? तो अगर आप इसके अंदर सीमेंट डालोगे तो आप ये पौधा बढ़ेगा कैसे और इसके अंदर पानी कैसे जाएगा? आपको पता है एनजीटी के ऑर्डर के हिसाब से सारे पेड़ों के चारों तरफ 1 मीटर तक मिट्टी होनी चाहिए. अगर आपके घर के आसपास कोई पेड़ हो जहाँ पे सीमेंट लगा हुआ है तो आप उस सीमेंट को हटवा सकते हैं. आप अपने RWA, NCT और PWD को भी बता सकते हैं उस सीमेंट को हटवाने के लिए.
So in this, they're talking about a NGT order which says that all the cement should be removed within 1 meter of the trees. So it's very difficult. We're fighting for just 1 meter of space around the trees. And if you see in the newspapers, search for New Delhi Nature Society, you'll see how many cases we are fighting to just save the soil space around the trees. If we don't save the soil space, this is the last soil space that's left in the city. And if this last soil space is covered with cement, then it's going to affect your groundwater table also. That's why it's good to have a natural environment. And if you concretize your entire living space, then it's only going to have a negative effect on you because you are removing nature out of your life. Now with the same court order, the same NGT order which we use to save the trees, I'll show you another short clip. This is about removing nails from the trees. Now, the penalty is ₹10,000 for any signboard on the trees. So with the help of students, we had a workshop here and we removed all the signboards and the nails from the trees. If we don't remove them, then the rusted nails can cause infections in the trees and the trees can dry up and they can die. So here's a video. just like nails, also, some people tie posters and banners on the trees. So that causes constriction to the tree. Now imagine if, like when you fracture your hand, the doctors, they put a rope around your neck to hold your hand, right? But that's rope, it's open over here, it's not choking your neck. Now, the trees, what happens is when we tie a rope around the tree, and the tree is trying to expand, so it creates a weak point in the branch where the rope is tied. So if there's a strong wind or something, the branches break from that weak point where those ropes are tied. So I'll just show you one other quick video where we removed all the wires from the trees in our area. This was with the help of the authorities. So you see, these are just easy things that you can do around your own place to save the trees around you. Now there are just two other things that I would like to show you. One is recently in Delhi, there's this whole thing about the tree transplantation policy which has been going on. You might have read it in the newspapers. So what they do is they say that they're going to save the trees by removing the trees and putting them in the ground somewhere else. And the authorities, the politicians, they believe this stuff and they think that, okay, the trees will survive. So we did a survey and we saw that a lot of the trees, they don't survive because the environment in Delhi, the soil cannot support tree transplantation. And in Delhi itself, there are so many different soil types. Near the river, you have more moist soil, it's more alluvial. Towards the ridge and even Sola Wildlife Sanctuary, you have it's a totally dry area. It's like a desert. So if you take out a tree from one place and put it in the other, there's a big chance that it's not going to survive. And also, you need the original soil. You need to save the roots. And you'll see in this next video that what is the results of tree transplantation. Okay. So National Highway Authority of India had shifted trees from Dwarka, from the NH8 to Dwarka. These are all the trees. They're all dead. No leaves came on them, no new branches. They just dried up and died after transplantation. So if anyone tells you that transplantation is good, you should show them this video. It's on our YouTube page. And yeah, we shared it on Twitter also. We shared it with the authorities. Till now, they have not come up with an official report for how many trees survived. But looking at these pictures, we can say like at least 80% of the transplanted trees did not survive. When they transplant the trees, they also disturb the wildlife nesting on the trees and inside the trees. And in the Wildlife Protection Act, there's a law that says disturbing a nest is illegal and you can be in jail for 3 years. But when they're doing transplanting, they don't think about the wildlife living on the trees. There's so many birds and species, protected wildlife species, which live inside the trees. So they all lose their homes and they lose their families. If the trees getting cut, the parents will fly away. But when they come back, they see the tree and the nest is missing and their children are also missing. So this is why we don't support the tree transplantation. Instead, we need better planning, which will accommodate the existing trees. And yeah, they also say that, okay, if we are cutting one tree, then we're going to plant some more trees in place of that. But the problem with that is, if you cut a full-grown tree, the full-grown tree it can give shade to at least 50 or 100 people, probably even 10 cars and a few buses. But a new tree which you put in the ground, not even one person can get shade under that. And no wildlife can also nest on these new trees which you plant. You have to wait for at least 10 or 20 years to be able to get shade under those trees. So we have planted 100 trees in this area, and after 5 years, we'll show you the situation of the trees, how they look after 5 years, after they're 5 years old. I'm just sharing the screen.
This tree was planted in a joint effort by NDNS, 𝗏𝗡𝗏𝗵𝗲, and MCD in 2017. No new tree has been planted in this quality since the last 25 to 30 years. They were about 2 to 3 years old when planted at an approximate of 4 to 5 feet. Now in 3 years, they're about 8 to 10 feet tall. As you can see, some of them have started flying. Until now, they're not tall enough to stand under it for shade. It's still not big enough for the wildlife to live on that pit. It may take 5 to 10 years more for any bird to make a nest on it. A plantation would not have been possible without the cooperation of the residents. You can also start a plantation near your house. Just look for large gaps in the canopy and you can plant a tree right there, just like this. This tree has grown the largest from this plantation. Speak to your MCD, RWA, or neighbors and convince them to plant at least one tree outside every house. It will take at least 20 years before these trees reach their full size. Thanks for watching and please support NDNS with the link
Okay, so now just this year we have also created an app called Save Trees, and this app is available on Android right now. We're also working on getting it on iOS, so it should be out within next month, I think. So through this app, you can click pictures of trees which are going to be cut, or trees which are already cut, or trees which are being cut right now. Just take a picture, and then I'll just show you the screen. So when you take a picture, it automatically saves the location on the map. Then you can choose the options, whether the tree is being cut, whether it's might be cut in the future, or whether it's already being cut. And there's also a section where you can add your own description. So when you post the case, everybody else who has the app, they will get the notification. And if they are nearby, then they can also come to the location and try to save the tree. Or through this app, there's also a discussion page where the like-minded people, we can give guidance to each other by saying, okay, you have to call up the authorities on this phone number, or forward this case to this email ID, the official email ID. We have even told the authorities to use this app so that they can communicate and create a log of all the trees which are getting damaged within their jurisdiction. And this app can be used anywhere in the world. So if you have friends anywhere who see any trees getting cut, just ask them to download this app and just post it on this app. Then other people, like-minded people, can give suggestions and give guidance how the trees can get saved or what legal action can be taken ahead. So it's called Save Trees app, available on Android right now. And soon, probably by next month, we will have it on the iOS. Lastly, I'm going to show you this Delhi Trees card game which we've made. Now some of you must have played those trump cards when you were younger. We played with wrestlers, with cars and motorcycle cards. So I've created this card game which has Delhi trees on it. And through this card game, you can compare the cards with the other players by comparing the height of the tree, the leaf size, and the rank number. So yeah, you can play with 2 to 6 players. And while playing this game, you get to learn the names of the trees. This is suitable for all age groups. So adults like to play this game, and during lockdown, everybody was stuck at home. So it was very helpful for people, for their families, to spend time together and learn about Delhi's trees. Now, we have our walks happening regularly, and we also are hiring interns. Every month we get new interns with different skills. So sometimes the interns are helping us with content creation or graphics, or website, digital marketing, video editing. So there's a lot of work going on over here, and we need all the help possible. We have a website also. We're there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. And we also have our website where you can see our monthly newsletters. I'll just share the screen again. So this is our website. We have a page for newsletters. So every month we create a newsletter. If you would like the newsletter, you can sign up for it over here. The page is loading slowly right now. So you can read the newsletter, you can download it, you can share it. Every month there are new things that we're working on. And yeah, all our events are also posted through this newsletter. And if you want some of our information, the resources, the documents, the legal things we are talking about in this workshop, you go to this resources page and you'll see the documents here. You can open and download them. How to save fallen trees. We've created a PDF document. So you can download that, save it on your phone. Anytime you see a fallen tree, just show that PDF to the authorities and they'll be able to save it. This is the NGT order for removing concrete around the trees. 10,000 rupees fine for nails, wires. You can also conduct a tree census in your college or in your colony. And there are a lot of other things here. Now you can also get involved with us by volunteering, or if you're interested to intern, then you can send your CV to us. Our email address and other details are given here. Yeah, this is the page for the Save Trees app. So we've made this app by crowdfunding. And every few months we have to keep updating the app also. So we're looking for more donations and support so that we can continue building this app. There's also a media coverage page. So every month, our work is covered by different newspapers on the environment-related work which we are doing to save trees, to save animals, protect the environment. Even some school and college workshops have been covered in the newspapers. We've organized some protests, and we've also taken several cases to the courts. We have some cases also ongoing at the moment. So whenever you have some free time, you can see all the different work that we've done over here and try to replicate that work so that more people get involved. And when more people are involved, then we can have better chances to save the environment. So that brings me to the end of the workshop. Does anybody have any questions? I can answer those questions right now. If anyone's interested in joining us for the Fireflies workshop today, it's at 𝗏𝗁𝗏 Village, and usually it's rupees 300 per person, but because we're all college students, there's no charge. So if you're interested, you can let us know, send us a message, find us on Instagram. We can send you all the details from there.
There's a question from Nida. She says that she's just curious to know if we were able to do something to save the jamun trees which were removed for central vista projects.
Yeah, a lot of them have been transplanted. I'm in touch with the people who are trying to save those trees. We are fighting the cases in the court. Also, this Delhi Metro, they're building a new line. And in Delhi, there's also going to be a new ring road. So thousands of trees are going to get cut. And we are just trying to save as many trees as we can. Personally, I've been called for these surveys where we check the different trees and see how the plants can be altered to save as many trees as possible. I found many nests also in the trees. So by taking pictures of the wildlife living in the trees, we're trying to show that they need to be saved. We can't disturb those nests. And at some places we've been able to shift the plans to save as many trees as possible. And yeah, we just need more and more people to get involved. In the beginning, when this NGO started, before it started, I used to see the environment getting damaged, and I would sit and expect someone else will come and save the trees. But then I saw nobody came to save the trees, and the trees got destroyed. That's why we created this NGO, so that we can get involved and start saving the trees, because if we wait for someone, it's never going to happen. We all have to get involved. We all have to do something or the other. And yeah, if we have more people together, we can even convince the authorities to withdraw the permissions. But if there are very few people, then our voices are not heard sometimes. But it's important to fight for these cases, because we win some, we lose some, and if we don't try, then there's no point complaining about it later. So we need to at least try something.
So Vanshika Arora is asking, how do you decide where to plant tree and what tree to plant if we want more trees to be planted in our city?
Okay, that's a good question. Where to plant the trees? So many of these big corporations like Airtel and all, they've had these world record events where they say in one day we're going to plant 10 lakh trees or whatever. So that always, it's only on paper, and always they'll tell you a number which is divisible by 100. But I've been for these plantations and I've seen they don't plant all the trees. Many times the plantation is not happening properly. They don't remove the plastic cover. Also, they don't have any plans of how to water the trees. So if you're planting a tree anywhere, you have to think about this, that how is the tree going to get water for at least 2 years, 2 or 3 years. After that, the tree can survive by itself. It doesn't need so much water, but in the beginning, for the tree to get established over there, for the roots to expand, it needs water for a couple of years. So you have to think, you have to have a plan of how the trees are going to get watered. Second was what trees to plant. So we only plant native trees. We have a list of native trees of Delhi, and in that, the native trees are good because they are easily adaptable to Delhi's climate. Firstly, they're meant for this weather, this kind of soil, this kind of latitude. There are some trees which are from the hills. There are some trees which are exotic plants. So we don't plant them. They're more high maintenance. And also we need native trees because they are feeding all the wildlife. All the wildlife lives on the native trees. They don't like to make nests on the exotic trees because they're used to a certain kind of trees here. And they also get their food from the local trees. So it's better to plant native trees. We have a list of native trees. I'm sure if you search online also, you can find native trees. Yeah, Delhi has a certain kind of, the trees which live in Delhi, they have a certain design. Like Ashoka trees are not for Delhi. We have a list of trees like you can have pilkhern, you can have gular, banyan. I have a list of 100 trees. So you can follow that. Even this Delhi trees card game, it's got 60 native trees which you can plant in Delhi. So only plant native trees. Amaltas is also good. Shahtoot is good. Jamun is good. This is also feeding the wildlife. You can also enjoy the fruit from the trees, and yeah, the wildlife is nesting on them, so it's good for this environment.
So Ria is asking, what are the future plans of NGO?
So the future plans, this year we've revived a lake also in South Delhi, here New Friends Colony. Immediate future plan is this app to be launched on the iOS. Then more people can start using the app to save trees. We need to raise more funds, have a bigger team, and fight more cases to save more trees. So that's the plan. We're right now we just get interns from colleges, and we have volunteers who take out time from their jobs to help us. So yeah, we're trying to build a team, and with a bigger team, people who are skillful in their own fields, then we will be able to make a bigger difference.
So Akriti Grover is asking from where we can get the cards game. It is not listed on the website.
Yeah, this card game is fairly new, so it's not on the website, but you can contact us on our Instagram page, and from there we will give you the details. You have to send us your address and all, and then we can ship the cards to you.
Thank you, sir, for your insights. I guess we are done with the questions. Now I would request Nida ma'am to please address the session.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, due to some reasons, I can't open my camera. But Mr. Khanna, it was really interesting. Actually, the surprising thing is that you work so close to the area where I live, and some of the trees I have seen like walking by, and I saw the fallen tree as well. So I can really feel like that, okay, someone was there to take care of the tree. So first of all, I'm really thankful to you, the kind of work you are doing, because as a passerby, we see these things and often feel like that someone should do this, but you are really actually doing this job, which is amazing. And I really want to wish you all the best for your future endeavor. And I definitely will connect to you later on and try to think of ways where I, as a person, and maybe as someone who can motivate other students to be a part of your aim to make this. Actually, I feel like that Delhi is still green, but the kind of pollution we have created around us, we need more trees, and we need to save definitely already planted trees. So I'm really thankful to the work you are doing, and I really thank you for taking out time and addressing to my students. And hopefully some of them will take up this thing seriously and show some passion to save trees which are already there, and looking for some help which we can lend them to live at least some year more and give us a greener environment around us. Thank you, Mr. Khanna. Thank you for this talk.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I look forward to having you involved as a participant in our work for the environment. And it was a pleasure to have this workshop with your students. And we look forward to having more sessions with your class.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Thank you, Viren sir, and everyone for joining us today. It was really great listening to you. Now, I would like to request Anadia, student member of 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. It was wonderful to hear Mr. Viren Khanna speak on today's theme, that is saving trees, and also for a very interactive Q&A session. Thank you for beautifully throwing light on this topic, because most of the time we neglect our surrounding, and you are a true example that, you know, we should be conscious about the environment. And actually, like we students, we actually couldn't, you know, see or know about Delhi much because of the online classes. And, you know, for us, most of the students who have joined us, we have never seen, or like few people have never seen Delhi or the college or in the environment. So we'll definitely, you know, join your work and, you know, save trees or something. Like we would actually love to see your work. Thank you so much, Mr. Viren Khanna, for your insight. I would like to thank all the audience for joining us in this session, and also thank you Raman sir and Komal ma'am for always being a constant support, and also Gangme sir and Nida ma'am for joining us today. Last but not the least, thank you to my fellow mates at 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, without whom this event wouldn't have been possible. I thank you all for joining us today. Wishing you everyone have a good evening.
Thank you so much, Nalia.
Thank you, Analia. I like to conclude with the same message that we always say: our stories may be singular, but our destiny is shared. Let us all come together and work for a reason greater than any of us. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Wishing everyone a very good evening, and hope to see you at the next Cockatoo session, the same place and the same platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.